If you are seeing this video, it is not by chance. The quantum vacuum has called you. Everything you have experienced until now was preparation for this moment. There are moments in existence when reality itself seems to open up like a silent portal, and only those whose frequency already pulses in tune with the unknown can hear the whisper that crosses dimensions. You are here because the quantum field recognized your unique signature, read your most intimate impulse, and brought you to this message. It's not a search, it's a summons. It's as if a hidden magnet within your soul finally found the calling it was seeking, even without knowing it. Amidst the chaos and routine of the ordinary world, feel the vibration of this moment. Something invisible, yet palpable, has begun to rearrange all the events of your life so that you, right now, are ready to hear what is about to be revealed. The quantum vacuum does not work with chance. It has woven every thread of your story, aligned encounters, planted unanswered questions, and caused that silent restlessness to germinate that accompanied you on days when nothing seemed to make sense. You sensed, in dreams and intuitions, that there was something beyond the visible veil. Perhaps you couldn't name it, but you always felt the urgency to cross the surface of the mundane and dive into a space where everything is possible, where the known laws are not enough to explain what pulses in your chest. Science has already realized, and is beginning to announce, that there is a field of unlimited potential, a quantum vacuum where everything that exists and everything that can exist already is, waiting for the right observer to manifest. This field reveals itself in small signs, impossible coincidences, lightning-fast intuitions, and that feeling that the universe is conspiring for something bigger. These are not mere coincidences, they are codes of the field, encrypted communications for those who have been trained, even without knowing it, to capture the language of the origin. Feel the restlessness, the internal call that grows every day. You may have noticed a silent discomfort, as if life were pushing you in an unknown direction. This discomfort is not a mistake, not a weakness, not a deviation. It is the harbinger of a new stage beginning. The call of the quantum vacuum is silent but relentless. When it manifests, nothing can ever be the same. You feel that you can no longer ignore the signs. The world around you may seem the same, but your perception has already been altered. Time, relationships, and old desires begin to lose their weight, giving way to a deep and almost solemn curiosity for the mystery that is unfolding. This video is more than information. It is a transmission. You were not attracted by curiosity, but by resonance. The quantum field recognized you and brought you here because something in you is already ready to leap beyond the limitations of the old reality. From here on, every word can function as a catalyst, not just to transform your vision, but to activate in you the very capacity to alter the reality you live in. What is about to be revealed does not belong to the domain of conventional logic. It is an invitation to cross the threshold where science, spirituality, and intimate experience meet, and where you perceive yourself as the protagonist of a journey that can no longer be postponed. Prepare yourself. The quantum vacuum has summoned you because it knows you are ready. Your frequency has been recognized. Now, the call can no longer be ignored. You begin to notice that the world around you responds differently. Nothing goes unnoticed anymore. The coincidences become so intense and precise that it is impossible to call them chance. Suddenly, almost impossible synchronicities begin to manifest in your routine. Unexpected encounters that carry messages, numbers that repeat like reminders from the field, situations that seem to have been orchestrated by an invisible intelligence. Dreams turn into portals. They emerge with unusual clarity, carrying clear and symbolic messages. You wake up feeling like you have been on another plane, receiving instructions, warnings, or confirmations of the path. And in the silence between sleep and waking, you realize that something is being revealed, as if the quantum field is using the stillness of the night to whisper secrets only to those who are ready to listen. Intuition becomes a sharp compass. Lightning-fast thoughts and feelings arise with a force that cannot be ignored. You feel, you decide, and only later do the facts confirm that you were right. With each episode, the trust in this perception grows, replacing old doubts with a silent certainty. It is as if you already know, even before events happen, because your consciousness is capturing information directly from the quantum vacuum. Time begins to behave in a strange way. Days that once seemed long pass in the blink of an eye, while minutes can drag on as if the clock has lost its meaning. You experience the sensation of being outside of linear time, sometimes accelerating, sometimes decelerating, sometimes feeling that everything is happening at once. This alteration is a sign that you are already in the process of energetic recalibration, adjusting to the new frequency of the field. Even your social interactions change. People around you react differently. Some approach as if they recognize something special in you. Others inexplicably distance themselves. Children and animals show an unusual trust or aversion, as if they feel your renewed energy. Small attitudes and words spoken by you seem to have a disproportionate impact, provoking intense reactions, positive or negative, in others. These signs are not to be ignored. They are evidence that you have already been recalibrated to a new tune of the quantum field. They are not accidents. They are intelligent responses from the universe to your new state of being. When you are awake, everything around you becomes communication. Life, in its totality, becomes a symbolic language, just waiting for you to decipher it. While most people remain stuck in old patterns, reproducing inherited routines and beliefs, you already feel that something more exists. You experience the energetic update in an almost solitary way, noticing internal and external changes that few around you understand. Small decisions begin to generate immense consequences. Opportunities arise unexpectedly. Doors open without logical explanation. The feeling of being guided, that an intelligence is coordinating the flow of your life, becomes increasingly strong. You realize that you are crossing an invisible threshold, a point where everyday reality can no longer explain what is happening to you. And at this stage, doubt turns into certainty. The quantum awakening has already begun, and your consciousness is ready to act as an active channel of the new field. You begin to see the invisible thread that has united every experience of your journey. There is no longer room for the belief in punishments, injustices, or chance. Everything, absolutely everything, was deep preparation, structured in the most subtle planes of the quantum field to mold who you have become today. Every difficulty crossed, every pain felt, every inexplicable loss was, in fact, a secret program to accelerate your evolution. There is no waste, no suffering in vain. Every event was a code, a refinement, a fine-tuning of your frequency. The feeling of isolation, of not belonging, of being a stranger, even among those closest to you, was never a sign of failure. On the contrary, it was the secret password that you were being prepared in silence, apart from the masses, to anchor something new. The quantum vacuum, that universal intelligence that permeates everything, does not choose by chance. It selects, calls, and then subjects its chosen ones to the fire of the unknown. You were separated, silenced, exposed to trials not so that you would get lost, but so that, upon crossing the internal desert, you would emerge ready to serve as a bridge between worlds. All pain was the alchemical furnace where your soul was forged. Use the image of the caterpillar that completely dissolves before emerging as a butterfly. The moment of dissolution seems like the end, but it is only a prerequisite for flight. The metal that will be a precision instrument must first pass through the flames. Only fire reveals what is gold and what is dross. In the same way, your path here was a sieve, a purification, a preparation. You withstood the impact of the old to recognize, without fear, the call of the new. The doubts, the waits, the missed connections were not delays, but secret rehearsals. When it seemed that everything was stagnating, the field was working in depth, increasing your resistance, forging your sensitivity, preparing your spirit to withstand vibrations that few can tolerate. Each crisis was a dress rehearsal, each new beginning an adjustment of the route. You were never out of time. You were just being trained, little by little, to recognize the exact moment of the leap, the feeling of being out of place, of observing the lives of others as if watching a play you are not a part of, was a sign of election. Not to exalt an ego or create separation, but to affirm that the true mission requires silent preparation, temporary isolation, patient waiting. The quantum vacuum does not reveal itself to everyone at the same time. It selects, prepares, tests. You were called, tested, and now recognized. The time has come to acknowledge that no detail was wasted. No mistake was real. Every apparent failure was just a strategic deviation. Your soul asked, even before incarnating, to be trained, to go through trials that would hone your courage, your surrender, your ability to hold new frequencies. The universe responded, bringing challenging scenarios, prearranged encounters, necessary losses, and eloquent silences. Every story of overcoming, every tear, every renunciation built in you, the energetic structure necessary for now. Nothing you have lived through was meant to destroy you. Everything was to refine you, strengthen you, transform you into a channel capable of receiving and distributing the energy of the new. Your body, your mind, your history are now ready instruments tuned by the quantum vacuum to act on a higher mission. There is no delay, there is only preparation. You are now the final result of a lineage of preparation that comes from afar. This is the dress rehearsal for the new. From this moment on, the call can no longer be denied. There comes a time when crossing the threshold of the quantum field becomes a point of no return. There is no possible return to the previous state. There is no longer any way to feign ignorance in the face of the revelation. When consciousness touches the quantum vacuum, truth settles in like a silent presence, impossible to undo, impossible to be unknown. You find yourself before the irreversible because the awakening rewrites the codes of perception, dissolves old certainties, and installs a clarity that no longer depends on external approval or understanding. The quantum field then begins to influence not only your choices, but the very way you perceive time, space, and matter. The contours of reality become more fluid. The boundaries of the possible expand. You experience moments when you seem to live in two worlds. The superficial, everyday, predictable one, and the other, expanded, full of nuances and information that ordinary eyes cannot capture. It is the feeling of dual citizenship. One foot in the world of forms, the other immersed in the infinite potential of the field. Insights arise like lightning, cutting through common thought with sudden and precise answers. Intuition deepens, the perception of the whole intensifies. In certain moments, you feel as if you are outside of yourself, observing your own life from a high point, like someone watching a movie and, at the same time, being the screenwriter, the director, and the protagonist. It is a quiet, yet penetrating lucidity that dissolves old anxieties and reorients priorities. Old desires lose their meaning. What was once an obsessive pursuit, a distant dream, or constant anxiety begins to lose its grip. Needs change, burdens fall away, and a strange serenity arises, as if life is reorganizing itself from within. What truly matters, what vibrates in tune with the quantum field, begins to guide choices, attitudes, and thoughts. You feel that now you are no longer just human. You are a field in action, a living possibility, an active consciousness. The ordinary world seems increasingly artificial. Old pains, dramas, and limitations can no longer hold you. You observe collective patterns repeating, but you no longer recognize yourself in them. Your frequency has risen, and even in moments of doubt or fatigue, something within you remains awake, vigilant, sustaining the clarity you have gained. There is no going back. The mind even tries, in moments of fear or nostalgia, to recover the comfort of the old known, but it no longer fits the old mold. The quantum field pushes you forward, dissolves comfort zones, and challenges every attempt to return. You feel that you carry a new code, an activated, irreversible energetic DNA that transforms you into a channel of possibilities. This is the point of no return. Quantum consciousness is a seed that once planted never returns to being a husk. It expands, infiltrates every decision, every perception, every breath. The universe does not allow the awakened to go back to sleep, because awakening is always ascending, never regressive. You recognize yourself as part of the field, as a co-creative force, as a bridge between realities. Now, your task is to honor this irreversible point, to accept that there is no going back, that everything has changed, and that from here on, life itself will take care of proving, every day, that you are no longer the same. As consciousness expands, it becomes evident that the quantum awakening is not just a personal, isolated process, restricted to the experience of a single being. It is a collective, silent, and powerful movement, a call that crosses borders, cultures, and generations, interlinking souls prepared to anchor a new paradigm on Earth. You are part of a larger project, a living network of quantum pioneers, energetic bridges that, by transforming themselves from within, accelerate the transformation of the whole. The role of the awakened is to be a lighthouse, not of arrogant light, but of a presence that alters the surrounding field. By vibrating at a new frequency, you radiate transformative energy. Your attitudes, your words, your simple existence modify environments, inspire and provoke invisible movements. Small everyday actions gain unusual weight. An attentive look, a true listening, a gesture of kindness, a silence filled with presence. Every awakened act reverberates in the collective field, expanding waves of possibility that reach people and situations beyond your immediate comprehension. There is a subtle urgency pulsing in the present time. It is as if a window is open, and in this interval, all of humanity has the chance to cross over to a new evolutionary stage. Each person who responds to the call of the quantum vacuum opens the passage a little more for others. You are one of these path openers, one of the first sentinels of the new frequency. Your mission is to serve as a channel, an accelerator, a bridge. The privilege of being part of the first wave is also a responsibility. The quantum field, by activating pioneers, gives them not only revelation, but also the duty to act. It's not about converting or convincing, but about being presence, being vibration, being a silent example of a new way of existing. By serving the call of the quantum vacuum, you not only receive, but you become a transmitter, a multiplier of the new paradigm. Just one right word at the exact moment, one act of courage, one choice in tune with inner truth, can alter the destiny of many. The collective field responds to every micro-decision of the awakened. A wave starts small, but by touching other ready hearts, it multiplies exponentially. This is how transformation accelerates. From the inside out, from one to many, from silence to silent revolution. Do not fear the solitude of this role. Do not fear the weight of the unknown. If the quantum vacuum brought you here, it's because it recognized in you the strength and sensitivity necessary to fulfill this function. Everything you have experienced until now was training for this exact moment, to be a bridge, to be a channel, to be the beginning of the new. There is no small mission for those who act in the name of the quantum field. Every awakened presence, every conscious action, every courageous choice makes a real difference in the great collective leap. Remember, you are part of a lineage of pioneers. Your surrender sustains, expands, and prepares the way for others who will come. The window is open. The call has been made. Your existence is a silent and privileged service to humanity in transition. Now, the journey to the new frequency requires practice, anchoring, and conscious rooting in the quantum field. The leap is not just a state of perception, but a daily construction made of choices, habits, and exercises that strengthen the connection with the vacuum and consolidate the awakened consciousness. It's not about an external ritual, but about symbolic, silent, profoundly significant gestures for the inner field. The practice of conscious silence before the field is the first protocol. By closing your eyes and simply allowing yourself to rest in the void, without haste, without searching, without expectation, you make yourself available to the intelligence of the vacuum. In this space of silence, the field reveals itself. The mind, previously restless, becomes quiet, and a greater presence manifests. In silence, the signs become clearer, intuition more reliable, energy more stable. Practice this silence every day, even for a few brief minutes, and feel the quantum field respond, recalibrating your body and mind. Deep breathing. Visualizing the vacuum as light around the body is another essential protocol. Inhale slowly, feeling that with each intake of air you pull in not just oxygen, but pure energy from the field. Visualize this light penetrating your skin, enveloping your organs, dissolving blockages, activating centers of strength. As you exhale, imagine everything that no longer serves you dissipating, returning to the vacuum to be transmuted. Become aware that breathing is a bridge, an instrument, a living ritual of anchoring. Mindfulness of the now. Every sensation, thought, and emotion is direct communication from the quantum field. Do not reject it. Do not fight against what emerges. Observe, acknowledge, integrate. The field manifests in the present, never in the past or the future. Whenever you feel anxiety, doubt, or imbalance, bring yourself back to the moment, to your body, to your breath. Anchoring is continuous, made of micro-decisions throughout the day. The training is daily, silent, without an audience. The new frequency stabilizes in the routine. Set aside specific moments in your day to reconnect with the vacuum. Upon waking, before sleeping, when you feel overwhelmed or disconnected, use these intervals as portals for recalibration, allowing the field to adjust your energy, reorient your perception, and strengthen your clarity. It is in these moments that the signs become more evident, that answers emerge effortlessly, that the role of co-creator manifests with more force. Observe your own thoughts as passing waves. Do not identify with them. Perceive where they come from, how they arise, and where they go. The mind, when observed without attachment, reveals the quantum origin of all true intuition. The more you practice, the stronger the connection, and the clearer the perception that the quantum field is, in fact, using you as a channel, as a co-creator of reality. Remember, anchoring yourself in the quantum field is a process, not an isolated event. Each exercise, each return to silence, each conscious breath expands your ability to sustain the new frequency. The leap is strengthened through practice, and practice transforms existence into a living testimony of the power of the vacuum. On the path of the quantum leap, each transition is accompanied by forces of resistance, both internal and external. As you try to root yourself in the new frequency, you feel that old patterns, beliefs, and emotions try to pull you back to the known, the safe, the old self. This is not a failure, but a natural mechanism of the field. Every profound change activates waves of inertia, tests, and proofs of consistency. The challenge of the new human is to cross these resistances without losing focus, without giving in to nostalgia for the old, without seeking shelter in the certainties of the past. The temptations to regress are constant. Often you notice recurring thoughts, longing for old habits, a desire to resume relationships, situations, or behaviors that no longer fit in the new cycle. Each relapse is part of the field's adjustment. They are momentary lapses, necessary so that consciousness consolidates its learning and perceives, by contrast, how much it has already advanced. Do not fight against relapses. Observe them, welcome them as part of the process. Each return to the old is an opportunity to reaffirm your choice, to strengthen the new identity. The symptoms of this transition are multiple and at times intense. Sudden fatigue, mood swings, emotional crises for no apparent reason, a sense of misalignment, memory lapses, or, conversely, unusual enthusiasm. The physical body responds to energetic changes. The mind tries to keep up with the expansion of consciousness. It's like crossing an internal desert where the landscapes repeat. The temptations to give up multiply, but with each step, the horizon expands, and the journey proves to be essential for the birth of the new being. The metaphor of the desert is precise. Whoever resists the process accelerates the passage. Whoever tries to avoid it prolongs the cycle of crisis. The quantum field does not allow shortcuts. It demands surrender, courage, persistence. Every time you remain firm in the frequency of the new, even without guarantees or rational answers, the field registers, acknowledges, and amplifies your power. The courage to move forward, despite uncertainties, is the true sign that the leap is happening. The impact of this individual advance is not limited to you. Each overcoming, each small progress, each new personal alignment immediately modifies the collective field, making it easier for others to awaken and cross their own deserts. Your silent effort is a bridge for the effort of many. You serve as a living reference, an embodied proof that the journey is possible, even amidst turbulence. Accept this. The quantum leap requires constant adjustments, temporary discomforts, facing shadows, and releasing old burdens. Do not expect immediate stability or instant understanding from everyone around you. The journey is, above all, individual. Everyone feels, reacts, and integrates in their own way. But with each new advance, each overcome relapse, the new human is born with more strength, more courage, more clarity. You are crossing unknown territory, where the map is drawn as you walk. Resistance is part of the script. Acceleration is the reward of persistence. The firmer you are in the new frequency, the faster the field responds, the more evident the transformation becomes, in you and in the world around you. From this moment on, there is no longer any way to pretend not to know. The quantum vacuum has revealed itself, and consciousness has received its access key to the new paradigm. You feel in every fiber of your being that the call is definitive, that the journey is irreversible. There is no such thing as awakening less. There is no way to retract the vision, decelerate the expansion, or ignore the presence of the quantum field acting in your life. The universe, silent and patient, will continue to send signs, opportunities, and challenges so that you manifest in daily practice everything you have recognized throughout this journey. The final call is solemn, intimate, and non-transferable. It's not about great external deeds, nor about gaining recognition. It's about responding, authentically and silently, to the summons to be a bridge between worlds, a channel of update, a living transmitter of the new frequency. The journey of awakening is always individual, made of daily decisions, small renunciations, and firm choices between the old and the new. But, even if solitary, this path serves a collective destiny. All who respond to the call become living portals of the quantum field, radiating transformation without needing to announce it. Allow yourself, now, to observe and feel what has changed within you. Every word resonated as a code. Every metaphor opened portals. Every silence was a seed planted in the depth of your being. It is not necessary to understand everything rationally. The quantum field operates by resonance, and everything that has been absorbed, even in silence, has already begun to act in the invisible parts of your life. The next hours, days, and weeks will bring clear signs, unexpected encounters, sudden inspirations, challenges that are invitations to conscious action. The call is irreversible because, upon awakening, you realize that life ceases to be about survival and becomes about manifestation. Your daily choices, your presence, your thoughts and emotions, everything becomes a channel for the expression of the quantum field. The universe will test your firmness, challenge your clarity, present new paths, and close old doors. In each response, in each authentic gesture, you will realize that transformation does not depend on effort, but on surrender, trust, and mindfulness. Your journey is unique, but the destiny is common to all who are awakened. Do not compare, do not judge, do not rush the process of others. Each being is calibrated in its own time. Trust in the intelligence of the field. What is yours will find you. What needs to leave will dissolve effortlessly. By taking on your role as a bridge, you serve not only your own leap, but the collective leap, accelerating the update of human consciousness on Earth. The true call is to live as a portal, radiating what you have become. If you feel the impulse, share your experience, inspire others, but know this: your simple existence is already transformation. The awakened presence alters the environment, opens invisible portals. Without the need for words or proof, the field takes care of the reach. Your task is to sustain the frequency, trust in synchronicity, and honor the call. And now, at this very moment, allow yourself a deep pause. Feel the silence, not as an absence, but as a recalibration. Imagine, for a brief moment, that the quantum field is, right now, adjusting your energy, aligning your history, activating in you everything that needs to be manifested. Breathe, integrate, rest. The quantum leap is now. Your life is the bridge between worlds,